What's going on, you guys? All right, so this is video for Jay, Super Jay that's inside the community. He wanted me to make a deck profile on how the blacklist works and basically how triggers work and how they work together and stuff. So I wanted to put this deck together just to show him, basically, how things work when it comes to how they were designed to work. You don't have to follow this deck list. Me personally, I think it's a little clunky, and I just went and played with one archetype by itself. I come from Yu-Gi-Oh. I just you normally don't never play one archetype by itself. Pure versions of anything is trash to me personally. But all right, so let's go into it and we'll show you how it works, and then you just basically follow what I'm talking about. You can make your own version of it, but just follow on how they work. All right, so here we get into it. What I have here is I didn't build this in Duelist, so I just kind of like freeform this. But yeah, so what I have here is the Blacklist deck. It's kind of pure, but I built it for controlling, so just to control what's going on in the field. It has a lot of K-line hate because K-line is basically the name of the game, and basically has a ton of it. So I'll go over the hate real quick for the K-lines. For you guys who don't know what the K-lines are entities that you can play, which is these guys right here. These guys are super powerful. These guys basically how you win the game. All right. So like this is a chess. These guys will be the king pieces. All right. So let's go over it. We have for the K-line hate, we have Seth. This guy, he gets over majority of all the K-lines if they don't stop him, stop his ability from going off. But if he goes off, he can knock off 3 units. We have Sam Howe. Sam Howe is definitely really good. He can use the K-lines from your just everywhere. To be honest with you, all the K-lines on the battlefield, and then he can turn them all into Ventrius right here. The K-line hunter. So yeah, this right here goes into the story and lore of Ventrius. So basically his whole idea of getting back to humanity and just the creations of Azaroth. So this is another version of him here as well. So this is the Sam Howell version though, but his form of Sam Howell. All right, so you got that. You got the mythical beast. Yeah, Sacklet. So Mythical Beast, what Mythical Beast does is at any time, you can actually offer K-line on your opponent's side and place them over there. And if they have an explained, but I think explained is this one, they can just remove explained. So he really doesn't. His second effect would probably never go off, but they can use the second effect. But yeah, so that's a pretty cool thing. At any time you can do it, so you don't have to worry about the threat level that he has. He has to explain threat level anyway. And then we have Sacklet. Obviously, if you know about this guy, which is as soon as they K-line call, you can play him, and then it ends basically. They can't K-line call anymore, but you don't end the turn, but they just can't bring any more of these guys out, like spam these guys out, which can happen as well. I'm gonna show you and playtest of how this works in a second. So he stops you all here. So you basically want to draw cards, discard cards. So you want to make sure you stick on that right there. A lot of these cards discard themselves. So and then you got the cards that add counters. You need 4 of these guys right here. Obviously need 4 of these. You need 4 of the monkey. The monkey basically when he gets the card, you add a threat level from your deck to your hand. He has a call effect. He doesn't have a deploy effect, which is terrible. So you never want to actually use your call. Your call because you only get one of those per turn. You don't want to use that on this guy. He's just a terrible call. Yeah, so you got one of these right here. When you discard, you can actually discard yourself, and then put 1 card in your opponent's hand in the bottom of the deck. And if the opponent discard him, then put 2. Right? He's okay. You don't really need too many of this guy. So one of this guy. But again, you can build a deck the way you want to. Of course, you have the keeping things in motion. Anytime a unit, ability, or card is being used, you can negate it with this right here. And then you can remove this card from the graveyard to send 1 card from the field to the hand. So it's pretty cool. This right here is basically like Pot of Avarice and Yu-Gi-Oh! Right here, you just discard it. Both players discard the hand, draw 5 cards. So this is pretty cool. You only want to use him when you need a refresh. So it's basically so the deck can keep playing. So it's like this: if you got nothing else to do, if you got one card, discard cards, and then you have this card, you want to play this last. For this guy right here, he has the counter thing. You want to basically make sure you run cards that add counters. So he had counters to the battlefield, and then some of these guys, be able to use the counters. He able also to use the counters. You use the counter, you be able to use a blacklist effect. So, for example, you can use the counter and use his ability when he's deployed. So when you can use his ability, take one counter, use his ability, and then his ability gives 2 more counters, which makes 3 counters. So yeah, and then I think this is another one. When a blacklist uses their ability, you gain counters. You want to make sure you do that. So you have clearly right here, probably one of the best cards, if not the best card in the game right now. Athena the Avatar of Source and Wisdom. You use her when you use her first. If you bring her out first turn, which I'll show you, you can always bring her out first turn. You want to make sure you go get who was it? You go get? Oh, you get Jay's right hand. So Jay right hand, he can actually take counters away and negate things. So he's like a negate. Or you can play this right here, but you can use Jay because you just bring him out there and just to basically use him for fodder. To get rid of, you can use the monkey too. So for the shadow hand. So this is basically shadow hand fodder. You can leave this here, but it's either these two or the monkey. But because Jay has that ability, you can just have that there. He's the blacklist card. So you want to make sure you run 4 copies of this. Obviously, the reason why I run 4 copies of this is because when he's placed, I think you gain counters for every blacklist on the battlefield, other than the leader, of course, and then you gain 1 source. So he's really good. I'm actually put him inside my Mecha Warrior deck. And then you have her. She might go to 4 because she's actually really, really good. And you could discard her, and then gain 1 counter, and then you draw a card. If the opponent discards her, you gain 2 counters, and you both draw a card. So that's pretty cool with that. There, you have this guy. You can discard him and use the effect of a blacklist 2 or less. Use their ability. So again, discard him. Add 2 counters. So you play him, discard him, add 2 counters. That's 4 counters. Counters are very, very important. And you will see in a second after I explain my boy right here, which is the best card in this just the cold archetype. Well, him in black market, but he's the best blacklist out of all of these guys, and he's new. So the cold starter, which is why he's called the cold starter, is because when he's played, you can add. He deploys blacklist units. So you can go get him. You play him, and he's a threat level Euclid, which is 2. He's level 2. So you play him, go get market, and go get this guy. So that's automatic. That's 3 blacklists right there. That's 3 counters, and on your end turn, you gain 1 counter. That's 4 counters. So it used to be, right? It used to be him, and this guy, and that would bring 3 counters. But there's this combo right here, boom, boom, boom. This instant boss monster right here. Well, Yu-Gi-Oh! Turns boss monster, but there's right here, Sadi. So this instant boss, the boss K-line right here. This is who you want to bring. We got 4 K-line, 4 counters. You can bring them out. I think you can bring them out at any time. So give me a second. Yeah, you can actually, which is crazy, you can actually bring him out on either player's turn. So that's the most crazy shit. Yeah, so I think that this is Earth. No, these are dark. But okay, so yeah. And this is when, okay, so these guys are, normally it was based off of Earth, but you see you got some darks, you got some and some winds and stuff like that here too. But if this was Earth, you'll be able to play Ogun, which I'm not playing Ogun here, which I need to put Ogun in here, but just see if that, just think about that, Ogun here. Or you can use Old Man just to get rid of one of them, and then you have some space and stuff like that. And then you'll be able to use his ability, bring 1 card back from the graveyard, and then you can discard it to draw 2 cards. But if you bring them on your opponent's turn, you can actually stop them from doing the goofiness. So what I'm going to do is basically show you. You want to also make sure you run negotiations. Negotiations is a really good card. It allows you to bring out blacklists. It's crazy. This allows you to bring out blacklists. The whole point of it is for you guys to just be able to use these guys to jump out the deck, and then your opponent picks their effects, right? Or they give counters. Like basically leaving counters is like giving change or leaving change, and then when the opponents pick their effects, just basically like you shopping and stuff like that. That's the concept. It's basically the blacklist is like a black market, selling illegal things. But yeah, I don't really play any of the blacklists that actually the opponent chooses their abilities. I just use the tokens. I mean, not the tokens, the counter ones. Yeah, so you're going to see, let's go over a profile, not a profile, but a playtest. Let's go over that real quick. Let's do the mirror. So we're going to play, we're going to shuffle, then we're going to draw. Let's draw 5. It's best time, is this the best way. So you want to see, I got this hand, I got this guy here, right? So I got this right here, which is good. So, oh yeah, this is more hate. Once you just discard him, they can't K-line call that turn. All right, so let's drop that. Let's discard that. Draw 1 card. All right, so now that I drew this, I can actually do my plays. Because at first I was going to discard one of the most important cards right now, because you want to actually hold this for the next turn. So let's discard this right here. Let's kick off the tarantula play. Or it could discard this for Karen. Yeah. So we want to, if they don't stop this, let's just say no one's stopping this though, because to say I'm going first, no one stops someone first. They're not playing Realm Slasher. They're not playing Dr. Sacklet, none of these type of things. They just go through. So I'm going to show you the combo. You want to then use the snake. Just use the snake to bring a level 2 or lower. You bring Athena, obviously. It's the first thing you do. First, after you grab Athena, you want to use her effect immediately. So you want to use her ability. Her ability allows you to bring a 3rd level. You don't want to use the draw. You normally don't use the draw with her after, like, turn. If you get her again, you do that. So you want to get Jay's, or let's get the monkey. Let's get the monkey. Right now, it's just the monkey. The monkey's more understandable right now. Then you have the monkey. So now we want to then bring Foxy on top of the snake, and that will allow you to bring the greedy buyer. Right, greedy buyer will bring 2 tokens. So my hand wasn't that great to start off with, so we won't start off with 2 tokens, but we're going to try to get as many as we can possibly get. All right, so then we will bring Ra. Then obviously we'll bring Shadow Hand, and then we'll Kinlaw call for Divine Rain. And then, Shadow Hand, you want to make sure you move that. So Shadow Hand moves this guy. So Shadow Hand moves this from the K-line zone, because the reason why you want to always make sure you use Shadow Hand on this guy is because they will Chronos you. All right, so now that we have these two, we have the guy who stop all, he silenced all of your enemies' units as long as it's on the field, and if they use resources, artifact, a location card, scenario, or units, deploy a unit, he can negate it and bounce it back to their hand, and they can't play that card for the rest of the turn. So you have 2 protections right here to protect you from any foolishness that will happen. Then we'll continue to play. So remember, I didn't we draw 3. I didn't call or anything like that. So we draw 3. We discard 2, which we'll discard these 2. And then we'll add Euclid to our hand. Again, these are not the best draws. Don't tell me this deck got Euclid. Alright, so I forgot to put Euclid in here. But let's say when it got Euclid, I play Euclid, alright? So right now, because of my hand, we gotta continue to go. Right? We wanna discard this. Let's try to draw. Okay. Let's play this. Hold on. Let's play another one. So right now I will be at 16. Because every time you play that, you take 2 damage. We will discard. Got a lot of K-line hate. Got a lot of K-line hate in my hand. A lot of K-line hate. Going first. You can discard this. Discard those 2. Because I need to continue. I'm going to just play Chronos. I'm just going to play Chronos. I'm going to sacrifice my Chronos because we will be able to get rid of this. We'll be able to get rid of this. So it's just a mirror and it's going to get in the way. So we'll put that there. Okay. Then we'll play this. We'll draw 2. And then discard 1. When discarded, you can use the ability of a blacklist. Boom. We'll use this guy right here. All right. So that was perfect, actually. And then if you want to, you can keep this. I will just keep this right here. And then right now, I will end. So when I end, it's their turn, right? And then on the end of the turn, that he will destroy everything on theirs. But because I want them back, let's say, what I will do is I will just do a Realm Slasher, stop them from K-line calling this turn, and then what I will do is I will take all of my tokens, these things away. Right, these counters, you call them tokens. Then I'll bring him out. And then what I will do is I get to add blacklist card to my hand. I don't know why he's removed. I don't know why he's removed. Probably is removed. I just forgot why he's removed. So what I will do is I will add her back to my hand because she's really good. Then what I will do is, because he's a blacklist, right? He's a blacklist. What I will do is I will use the ability to send this guy back to the deck. So now I have my Chronos back. Because they don't have any turn, anything like that. And then probably they're just gonna place a unit inside of their defense zone, do all that stuff right there. Then they come back to me. I will draw. And this is basically like where the game is actually over at. So we'll play this. We play this. Discard 1 card, add 1 blacklist to my hand. So we'll discard this. And I can either add to his ability to add something to my hand, for a blacklist to my hand, draw 2 cards, or I can send another card back. So what I will do is I will draw 2 cards. Right, and then I'm going to add another blacklist. You want to also play Frozen Feather in here too. I just noticed that. We have her. We have that right there. So we want to get Black Market. Let's put Black Market in our hand. This is really it. This is basically the deck. So play Black Market. Right? You discard her to gain a counter. You gain 1 counter. Then I think this guy gives you a counter. Okay, then I'll be able to use my leader's ability, which I'll use that to draw 2. Could discard this. Draw. Discard again. Draw again. 2 sacklets. Filled. I don't need to add this. I'll just place this face down and draw 2 cards on their turn. And what I will do is attack. Attack, gets counter. Let's just say I think let's say he won't die. Attack. The blacklist is a little weak though. You gotta remember that. Blacklist is weak too. So we just attack. 9 times out of 10, they're probably be dying. And then next turn, to try to do anything else, spin it back to the top of the deck. I draw 2 cards, and that's basically this. It's just continuously, you're just doing shit on with this guy. And if they get rid of him, you have blacklist, because again, another counter for the end of the turn. And then attack, gain 2 more, and then if they get rid of them, you bring another one out. So that's basically how this deck works. It's pretty simple, pretty cool deck. I really like it. It's controlling, as you can see, literally control the field. Now, would it be this easy in a real game? Absolutely not, because the game is like chess. It's a back and forth type of thing, and it would be much harder, much harder, because you just can't steamroll people in this game, you know, unless they're bad. They just do a bunch of they misplay, do a bunch of misplays. You can definitely get steamrolled because the game is it's look crazy, look like it's fast, and then you just play these big giant dudes and stuff like that, right? But this is a extremely balanced game, and we found that out as we kept playing it. It's a extremely balanced game because this looks like, okay, we got like Yu-Gi-Oh, you got a guy that negates abilities, you got a guy that negates basically damn near everything. But he doesn't negate everything, but he negates like resources, support cards, you know, the main stuff that allows you to do things, allow me to do most of this stuff. And then he negates deployment. Then you have this guy that literally sends things back to the bottom of your opponent's deck at any turn. So my turn comes, I can do it again. On your turn, I do it at your turn. It's crazy, and you can do it at any time. So it's an anytime effect, where we have the making the rules right now. The guy, and you see right here, is anytime ability and card effects. And abilities and card effects can be employed regardless of whose turn it is, allowing players to respond to events unfolding on the battlefield. Promptly, they constitute the swiftest means of interactions within the game. Pardon me. So these are literally the fastest. So anything that happens, they play a card, you can literally do to stop everything and just react to it. So he allows you to react. So that's basically what it is. So when they play a unit, you can react to it. They put a canine, they call a canine, you can send it back. So you can only do it once per turn. Either one of his effects, do one of his effects once per turn. But just know that this guy's bananas, and all it takes is 4 counters to be brought out, and then he can bring on your opponent's turn too. So bring him on your opponent's turn, let them go once they go. So if you can somehow get him out on first turn, if you go first, get him out on first turn with this board right here with these two, they actually kind of lose. So they try to get out of it, unless they got like SCP universe, and there's so much stuff, there's so many ways they can get out of it. So because actually he can stop the universe ender, but if the opponent know what they're doing, they'll be able to get out of it, due to the fact that they just play universe ender, and the universe ender will not blow up anything, because you got this guy here, but you just beat this guy up, and then it's going to be really difficult to get over this universe ender, and then they'll be able to just pop off. So if they don't have the answers to you, then you're not telling you just win the game, if you can get this guy out first turn. So there's definitely ways to do it. People will figure out ways to do it. And if you just get this board first turn, yeah, there's just more crazy boards than this. But right now, right now, this is the crazy board right now. All right, thank you for watching. Jay, this is for you. Let me know what you think.